that dream you've been carrying inside you, that idea that keeps you up at night, that vision that nobody else can see but you? It's possible. I know. I know what the world tries to do. It throws doubt at you. It wraps your ambition in fear. It hands you a list of reasons why you can't, why you won't, why you shouldn't. But I'm here to tell you what nobody else might be bold enough to say. You have greatness within you. You do. You have something inside you that this world has never seen before. You have a story, a gift, a voice, an idea, a solution, a fire. And it didn't show up by accident. Now, maybe you've had some failures. Maybe you've been laughed at. Maybe you were told you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not connected enough. So what? People don't determine your destiny. You do. See, you don't need everyone's approval to chase your dream. You just need one person to believe in it strongly enough to not give up. And that person is you. And let me tell you something. The road to success is not easy. Oh no, it's hard, it's messy, it's lonely. There will be nights you cry, days you feel forgotten, moments you want to throw in the towel. But those who win, those who rise, they're not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. Because they know, deep in their bones, it's possible. It's possible to come from nothing and build something that matters. It's possible to start late and still finish strong. It's possible to lose it all and come back stronger than ever. How do I know? Because people do it every day, and if they can do it, why not you? Look, I don't care what your past looks like. I care what your future could look like. You're not your mistakes. You're not your failures. You're not what they said about you. You're not your bank account, your zip code, or your report card. You are more. You were meant for more. But here's the catch. No one's coming to save you. This is your race, your dream, your life. You want it? Then fight for it. You want it? Then cry, bleed, sweat, but don't quit. You want it? Then say it with me. It's possible. Say it like you mean it. Say it until you believe it. Say it until the world can't ignore you. Because one day, someone's going to look at you and say, I didn't think it could be done, but you proved me wrong. Let's go make the impossible possible. Your dream is valid even if only you can see it. That idea that keeps tugging at your heart, that vision you see when your eyes are closed, that thing you daydream about when the world goes quiet, that's not a fantasy. That's a seed planted in your spirit. And just because nobody else can see it yet, doesn't mean it isn't real. It doesn't mean it isn't worth fighting for. Some of the most powerful dreams ever realized started as whispers in the minds of people who had no evidence, no support, and no roadmap. Just belief. You don't need a crowd to validate your vision. You don't need 10 people to clap for you before you take your first step. The world is not required to understand your calling. Sometimes your dream is not meant to be understood. It's meant to be pursued. You might be the only person crazy enough to believe in what you're dreaming. And that's exactly what it takes. A little bit of crazy, a little bit of faith, a whole lot of courage. People will doubt you. That's part of the deal. They'll ask you, why are you doing this? Or who do you think you are? They'll remind you of your past, your mistakes, your limits, your so-called place in the world. But here's the truth. Their disbelief doesn't change your capability. Their fear doesn't cancel your future. Their inability to dream big has nothing to do with your ability to make it real. Sometimes your dream is so personal, so sacred that sharing it too soon will crush it. Not because it's weak, but because it's growing. It's still in the soil, still taking root. And in that stage, all it needs is your protection, your discipline, your silence. Protect your dream from premature criticism. Feed it with focus. Water it with action. The dream is valid, but it is fragile when it's new. Not everyone deserves to see it until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Remember this, the greatest visionaries were often seen as fools before they were seen as geniuses. The ones who changed the world were once laughed at, dismissed, and ignored. They didn't wait for applause. They didn't wait for permission. They moved forward while everyone else stood still. That's the cost of dreaming beyond the average. You'll often walk alone, but that loneliness is the forge where strength is built. You may not have the resources, you may not have the connections, but if you have the vision, the will, and the grind, you're already dangerous. You've already got more than most. You've got a blueprint on the inside that no one else can steal, and guess what? You don't owe anyone an explanation for where you're headed. Let your results speak. Let your work prove what you saw before they could see it. There will be days when the vision feels blurry, when you'll question yourself, when you'll ask, is this even worth it? That's when you have to remember why you started. That's when you have to revisit the moment the dream was born. Go back there. Go back to that spark. Feel it again. Remind yourself, I saw something. I felt something. I knew something. Hold on to that like your life depends on it, because your future does. There are people who will never understand why you want what you want. That's not your problem. You don't need them to understand. Your destiny is not a community project. It's a personal mission. And no one else has to see the summit you're climbing until you're standing on it. Then they'll say they always believed in you. But you'll know. You'll know you were the only one who saw it when it was still just a flicker in the dark. You owe it to yourself to try, to give your dream everything you've got. You owe it to the version of you that first dared to believe. Don't betray your own vision by waiting for others to validate it. You are the proof. Your life, your steps, your resilience, that's the evidence that it matters. And when you walk in that truth, when you carry your dream like it already exists, something powerful happens. The world starts to bend in your direction. Not all at once, not overnight, but step by step, it responds to your belief. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. That's the truth most people won't tell you. We live in a world that celebrates the finish line, but forgets to mention the falls, the scraped knees, the late nights, the rejections, the doubts that show up uninvited. Success is not a straight line. It's not a smooth road. It's a messy, unpredictable, often painful journey filled with detours. And failure is not a sign you're off track. It's often the clearest proof you're headed somewhere that matters. You're going to fail. That's not a threat. It's a promise. If you're doing anything worthwhile, anything bold, anything real, failure will greet you like a test. It will ask, how bad do you want this? And if you can't answer with action, with persistence, with hunger, you'll quit. That's what failure is there to do. It filters the committed from the curious. People think failure means stop. No, failure means learn. Adjust, repeat, keep going. Some of the greatest victories in history were built on a mountain of losses. Those losses weren't wasted. They weren't shameful. They were lessons. They were workouts for the soul. They were mental conditioning. Because every time you fail and get back up, something inside you gets stronger. Your skin thickens. Your mindset sharpens. Your grit deepens. That kind of growth doesn't come from winning all the time. It comes from falling and refusing to stay down. The world wants to paint success like a highlight reel. They show the medals, the awards, the magazine covers, the polished speeches. But they don't show the silent grind, the nights full of doubt, the emails that go unanswered, the deals that fall apart, the friends who disappear when the pressure hits. Failure isn't glamorous, but it's necessary. If you haven't failed, you haven't tried hard enough. If you haven't failed, you're playing it too safe. Real success isn't born from safety, it's born from risk. You'll be tempted to avoid failure. That's natural. Nobody likes to feel exposed or embarrassed. But if you try to avoid failure completely, you're also avoiding growth. You're saying no to your own evolution. Playing small might feel comfortable, but it will never feel fulfilling. If you want more, if you want something uncommon, you have to be willing to fall on your face sometimes. You have to be willing to look foolish, to be underestimated, to be wrong, and still choose to rise. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall over and over and over again, but they don't quit. Why? Because falling is expected. It's not judged. It's not punished. It's understood as a necessary part of the process. Somewhere along the way, we forget that. We become afraid to fall, afraid to look weak, afraid to fail. But that fear is a liar. That fear wants to keep you where it's safe. Safe isn't where dreams live. Failure doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do next. You can choose to turn a failure into a wall or into a door. You can let it stop you or let it shape you. You can let it make you bitter or let it make you better. It's your choice. Always has been. Every time you get knocked down, you've got two options. Stay down or rise with more wisdom than before. People who succeed don't avoid failure, they outlast it. Don't envy the people at the top. You don't know their story. You don't know the nights they cried. You don't know how many times they thought about quitting. You don't know how many failures they buried before they ever tasted success. You see the fruit, but you didn't witness the planting. You didn't witness the pruning. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stay focused on your journey and embrace every part of it, including the failure. You will be judged. People will talk. They'll say you should have known better, you should have done better, you should have stopped. But what they don't understand is that failure is the tuition you pay for greatness. No one who's ever achieved something meaningful did it without scars, without setbacks, without seasons of silence where they wondered if any of it was worth it. The ones who win are the ones who keep showing up even after it all goes wrong. Every failure is a mirror. It shows you something. It might show you what you missed, where you need to grow, what you didn't prepare for, or what you really want. And when you're willing to look into that mirror without flinching, without running, that's when transformation happens. That's when you go from dreaming to doing, from hoping to building, from talking to becoming. The road to success is paved with failure, not perfection. You don't need to be flawless. You need to be fearless. You need to be willing to go again, to try again, to believe again. Because success doesn't come to those who avoid failure. It comes to those who understand it, embrace it, and rise in spite of it.